We've all seen the videos. Federer's forehand, Nadal's topspin, Djokovic's return. The blueprint for the perfect tennis player has been drawn 1,000 times over. But today, we're not building the GOAT. We're diving into the underworld of the ATP Tour, where technical glitches, mental meltdowns, and bizarre mechanics come to play. That's right, we're creating the absolute worst professional tennis player imaginable by stitching together the weakest shots and traits from real ATP players. This isn't to disrespect these players. Every man on the list could destroy any of us in straight sets. But even the best have their blind spots. So grab your rackets, hide your backhands, and let's Frankenstein together the worst ATP player in history. Let's kick things off with the serve, where a match can be won before the rally even begins. Unless you're Malik Jaziri. Jaziri, a Tunisian veteran of the tour, has one of the most inconsistent first serves in ATP history. During his 2018 and 2019 seasons, his first serve percentage floated around a staggering 50%, far below the ATP average of 62 to 65%. A first serve should be your weapon. For Jaziri, it was a coin flip. He rarely aced, lacked placement variety, and would often start rallies on the defensive. In a sport where margins matter, that's a death sentence. Now let's move to the other side of the court, the return. We swing to good old Ivo Karlovic, the 6'11" Croatian known for his bazooka of a serve and notoriously brittle return game. Karlovic won just 21% of first serve return points and 40% on second serves during his career. That puts him among the lowest ranked returners on the tour per ATP stats. His height, while deadly on serve, made it tough to get low or react quickly. He often looked like he was trying to return serve while wearing ski boots. Moving on to the forehand. Maybe you can already guess who this'll be. The Frenchman with the flair, the beard, and the forehand that makes coaches weep. Benoit Paire's forehand is less a shot, more a gamble. Loopy, inconsistent, and often mistimed, it's been his Achilles heel in countless matches. According to Match Charting Project by Tennis Abstract, Paire has one of the highest unforced error rates off the forehand side and frequently reverts to slicing or moonballing when pressure mounts. One match, it's world class. The next, it's a shank fest. Now let's go to the other side of the body and look at the backhand. You know the term one-dimensional? Steve Johnson's backhand defines it. The American relied almost entirely on a backhand slice, avoiding topspin or drive variations at all costs. He's admitted that learning a topspin backhand late in his development never fully clicked, and it shows. Against top-tier competition, this tactic collapses. Players feast on the predictable slice, dragging Johnson wide and forcing weak replies. Even commentators have said his backhand is like a band-aid, temporary, fragile, and not meant for war. Let's move closer to the net and take a look at some borderline atrocious volleys. David Ferrer is a legend, no question, but at the net, not exactly his favorite neighborhood. While Ferrer thrived in brutal baseline exchanges, his net instincts were often hesitant and his volley execution mechanical. He converted just 58% of net approaches during key years on tour, well below elite standards. A fighter at the back, but a fish out of water at the front. Now, I don't necessarily agree with this one 100%, but I feel like I had to throw it in here because on all the forums, on Reddit, on everywhere that we see, this overhead is the one that's talked about the most. Every superhero has a weakness, and for Novak Djokovic, it's the overhead smash. Time and again, he's been lobbed only to awkwardly frame the overhead or miss it entirely. Even in high-stakes finals, Novak's overheads have been, let's call them adventurous. Analysts have pointed out his footwork under the ball is often off, and his grip mechanics not ideal for smashes. For a man so perfect in every other area, it's the tennis god's idea of a joke. Now, when you think of finesse, you think of players like Roger or Alcaraz. One person whose drop shots you don't think of is Andy Roddick. Now, Roddick could pound a serve like a sledgehammer, but when it came to finesse, not so much. His drop shots were rare and rudimentary, often telegraphed and left hanging in the air like a sad birthday balloon. Roddick even admitted in interviews he didn't trust the shot and rarely practiced it. In an era where touch and disguise are king, that was a huge tactical gap. It's like trying to play jazz with a jackhammer. Quick pause here. If you're enjoying this backwards dive into tennis greatness, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all future videos coming out on the Hot Take Tennis platform. We're building tennis's weirdest Frankenstein, and there's a lot more chaos to come. Got your own picks for worst shots? Drop them in the comments. I might just roast them next time. Now, as Steve Johnson relied on that backhand slice, there's other players that never even learned to hit a slice. Davydenko was a human ball machine. Clean strokes, robotic footwork, but his slice? Basically non-existent. On ultra-flat ground strokes meant he almost never used the slice for defense or variation. In matches where he needed to disrupt rhythm or buy time, he lacked the tactical diversity to mix it up. It wasn't so much that his slice was bad, it just didn't exist. Now, I went back and forth on a few players for this one, but let's talk about footwork. Fabio Fognini can hit shots no human should be able to. But he can also stand still while the ball flies by. His footwork is casual, sometimes magical, sometimes invisible. Tennis coach Brad Gilbert once quipped that Fognini plays defense like it's optional. When locked in, he's electric, but too often his movement lacks urgency and discipline. That lazy step or lack of split step lands him right here on this disaster piece. And here it is, the tennis brain. And who better than Bernard Tomic? Who do you think has the worst head game? Tomic has openly said he plays for money, not glory. He's admitted to not trying during matches. In 2017, he told the press during a presser, "I just couldn't find motivation. To me, this is a job. Winning isn't everything." His tanking has been legendary. His effort, laughable. While talent oozes from his early career, the lack of care turned him into a punchline. Assembling the worst player? I'd say you need Tomic's mindset. And last but not least, we're going to take a look at endurance and fitness. And who has the gas tank of a scooter? This one might be controversial, but I think it's true. When we talk about lack of endurance, Nick Kyrgios strolls in. Kyrgios has famously avoided long rallies, long matches, and long training sessions.
In the seventh game of the first set, was that a tactic heading into the match?
No, I'm just a bit lazy at times. I don't really like to rally all that much, so the drop shot's always a good option. Terrible example for people out there.
In 2022, he admitted to not training properly and eating poorly during events. His body often breaks down during best-of-5 matches, and when matches drag, so does his focus. He's explosive, but like a firecracker, it burns out quick. Our worst player now has the cardio of a couch potato. So let's meet our Frankenstein. Serve, Malik Jaziri. Return, Evil Karlovic. Forehand, Benoit Paire. Backhand, Steve Johnson. Volleys, David Ferrer. Overhead, Novak Djokovic. Drop shot, Andy Roddick. Slice, Nikolay Davydenko. Footwork, Fabio Fognini. Mental game, Bernard Tomic. And fitness, Nick Kyrgios. A player so broken, it might just work in a cartoon, but in the real world, this is tennis's ultimate anti-GOAT. Let us know in the comments who you'd add or if we're too harsh on someone. Until next time, keep your footwork clean, your mind sharp, and your overheads inside the lines.